Welcome to our channel, fellow explorers. Today, we're embarking on a quest for truth, a cosmic collision between faith and reason. Buckle up as we explore the fascinating intersection of the Bible, science, and history. We'll dive into scientific evidence, unearth archaeological findings, and compare the historical accuracy of the Bible to other ancient texts. So keep those brain cells firing, and let's get started. Now you might be thinking, science and the Bible? Those are two different universes. And you wouldn't be entirely wrong. Science deals with the empirical, the measurable, the testable. It's about observing the universe and figuring out its rules. The Bible, on the other hand, is often interpreted as a source of spiritual guidance and moral instruction. But here's the thing, the universe is full of surprises. And sometimes the stories told in ancient texts like the Bible intersect with scientific discoveries in unexpected ways. Take the Big Bang Theory, for instance. This widely accepted scientific model describes the universe's beginning as a massive expansion from a single point, an incredibly hot, dense state. Interestingly, the book of Genesis opens with a similar narrative. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, I'm not saying that the Bible predicted the Big Bang, but the idea of the universe having a definitive starting point, a moment of creation, resonates with both scientific and biblical accounts. Another fascinating area of overlap is the fine-tuning of the universe. Astrophysicists have discovered that the fundamental constants of nature, things like the strength of gravity, the speed of light, and the mass of an electron, are incredibly precise. Even the slightest variation in these constants would have rendered the universe lifeless. This fine-tuning has led some scientists to propose the anthropic principle, the idea that the universe seems tailor-made for life, specifically intelligent life like us. This concept of a universe designed for life echoes the biblical idea of a purposeful creation, a universe crafted by a divine architect. Now let's talk about the incredible diversity of life on Earth. The Bible describes a period of creation where God brings forth a vast array of living creatures, each after its kind. And what does the fossil record show? An explosion of life forms during the Cambrian period, a time of unprecedented biological innovation. Again, I'm not saying that the Bible accurately depicts the scientific process of evolution, but the idea of life's diversity arising from a single source, a moment of creation, is a common thread that runs through both scientific and biblical narratives. Of course, there are also areas where the Bible and science seem to diverge. The age of the Earth, for example, is a point of contention. Based on geological evidence and radiometric dating, scientists estimate the Earth to be around 4.5 billion years old. The Bible, on the other hand, suggests a much younger Earth, created in 6 literal days. Archaeology, it's like time travel without a DeLorean. We dig into the Earth, uncovering remnants of the past, piecing together the stories of civilizations long gone. And when it comes to the Bible, archaeology has provided some pretty compelling evidence to support its historical context. One of the most significant archaeological finds related to the Bible is the city of Jericho. Mentioned in the book of Joshua, Jericho is described as a heavily fortified city that fell to the Israelites. Now archaeologists have unearthed the ruins of ancient Jericho, and guess what? They found evidence of massive walls that had indeed collapsed. They even discovered pottery shards dating back to the time period described in the Bible. Then there's the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls in the late 1940s. These ancient scrolls, hidden away in caves near the Dead Sea, contain biblical texts dating back to the 2nd century BC. The Dead Sea Scrolls have provided invaluable insights into the transmission and preservation of the biblical text, demonstrating remarkable consistency with later copies. Another fascinating discovery is the Tel Dan Stele. This fragmented stone slab, dating back to the 9th century BC, bears an inscription that mentions the House of David. This is the oldest known reference to King David outside of the Bible, providing extra biblical evidence for his existence and reign. We've also got the Pilate inscription discovered in 1961. This stone block found in Caesarea Maritima bears an inscription mentioning Pontius Pilate, the Roman prefect who, according to the Gospels, condemned Jesus to death. This inscription confirms Pilate's historical existence and his position of authority in Judea during the time of Jesus. From coins bearing the images of Roman emperors mentioned in the New Testament to pottery shards inscribed with Aramaic writing, these tangible artifacts bring the biblical world to life. And the more we dig, the more we discover that the Bible, while not a history textbook in the modern sense, is rooted in real places, real people, and real events. Chapter 3. The Bible Among Ancient Texts, Separating Fact from Fiction. Now let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say the ancient library in the room. The Bible isn't the only game in town when it comes to ancient texts. There are countless other writings from antiquity, histories, myths, poems, philosophical treatises that offer glimpses into the past. So, how does the Bible stack up against these other ancient texts in terms of historical accuracy? Well, it's a complex question and there's no easy answer, but we can explore some key factors that contribute to the Bible's reliability. First and foremost, the Bible has an impressive track record when it comes to manuscript evidence. We have thousands upon thousands of ancient biblical manuscripts, some dating back to within a few centuries of the events they describe. This abundance of manuscripts allows scholars to compare different versions, identify potential errors in copying, and reconstruct the most accurate text possible. Compare that to other ancient works like Plato's Republic or Caesar's Gallic Wars. For these texts, we have far fewer manuscripts, often separated by centuries. This makes it more challenging to establish a definitive text and increases the possibility of errors or interpolations. Another factor to consider is the historical context in which the Bible was written. The Old Testament, for example, was composed over centuries, reflecting the evolving history and culture of the Israelites. It incorporates different genres, law codes, historical narratives, poetry, prophetic writings, each with its own literary conventions and purposes. The New Testament, written in the 1st century AD, provides eyewitness accounts of Jesus' life, teachings, death, and resurrection. These accounts were written within living memory of the events, increasing their potential for historical accuracy. Of course, this doesn't mean that every single detail in the Bible should be taken as literal historical fact. There are poetic passages, metaphorical language, and apocalyptic visions that are open to interpretation. But the historical core of the Bible, the existence of ancient Israel, the reigns of kings like David and Solomon, the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus, is supported by a wealth of historical and archaeological evidence. Thanks for joining me on this cosmic exploration of the Bible, science, and history. Remember, the universe is full of mysteries, and the more we learn, the more we realize how much we don't know. If this video sparked your curiosity, hit that like button and share it with your fellow truth seekers. Don't forget to subscribe for more mind-expanding content. Keep those cosmic questions coming in the comments below. What are your thoughts on the relationship between the Bible, science, and history? Let's keep the conversation going.